Hello Spectrum, I'm Marcus.
And I'm Kenzie. Today we'll take a look at class opportunities for next year and a feature story on a special Spectrum teacher.
I can't wait to hear more. Let's get into it. The Accolade wants you to join the yearbook staff. They are looking for dedicated 8th through 11th grade guys and gals that want to learn more about photography, journalism, and design. You will be responsible for making the 2019-2020 yearbook our best book yet.
To join the award-winning staff, fill out an application by February 22nd. The applications can be found outside room 211 or online on the class registration page. Speaking of applications, Noise News is also taking applications for next year's broadcast journalism class. We are looking for current 8th through 11th grade students who are eager to learn more about putting on a news production.
Strong writing skills, public speaking skills, and or video making skills are useful but not mandatory, as you will develop these in the course. Pick up an application outside of room 103 today.
Softball captain's practice continues every Friday until the season starts from 7 to 7:30 in the morning at the high school building. Contact Sierra Anderson, Isabella Dorwall, or Natalie Dewar if you have any questions.
Baseball captain's practices are also going on. Practices are Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6:30 to 7:30 in the morning at the high school building and Saturdays from 10 to noon at the 6th grade building. If you have any questions, contact Parker Brown or Preston Holmes. If you are interested in playing this upcoming season, you should try to make it there.
While we're on the topic of sports, let's throw it over to Braden for a Spectrum Sports update.
Welcome back, awesome students of Spectrum High School. I hope you had a lovely Valentine's Day, because I did. Not. Anyways, boys basketball beat Lester Prairie 75-59 Wednesday and had a lovely Valentine's Day game against Maple Lake Thursday. On the female side, girls basketball beat Lester Prairie Wednesday and had another lovely Valentine's Day as well against Holdingford High School. Girls also had their NCAA showcase against Legacy on Saturday. Wrestling had their team sections Friday against Howard Lake Waverly and have individual sections this upcoming Saturday. Don't forget to congratulate Gavin Gold on getting first in his weight class at the conference tournament. Same as last week, boys swimming should still be celebrating for 5-peating over the conference championship. Oh, Spectrum, the great Spectrum High School. Go support all your favorite athletes and sections that are coming up. Well, until next week, with my home dog Tim, this has been Braden Ashworth for sports. Now, commercial crew might actually have something this week. It may or may not even be a commercial, but let's send it to them.
Thyself, proceed.
Is that one of your college classes, Keegan?
Yeah, it's for online, and I don't understand it. It's so hard to communicate with my teacher.
Well, did you know that you can take the same classes, but at Spectrum through the CASH program? You get all the same college credit and material, but you get the support of all the great teachers that we have at Spectrum that really care for you.
Really? Well, where do I sign up? Gosh, Caleb, where do I find more about these CASH classes?
I don't know.
Hey, Cole! Do you know anything about the CASH classes?
No.
Okay, hey, Elizabeth!
Yeah?
You know anything about the CASH classes?
Yeah, you have to go talk to Miss Citron or Mr. Matheson. They can tell you anything you want about cash. And most students who stay here and take cash get a better grade overall than if they leave and go somewhere else. Be like Joe. Take college classes.
Is a teacher who wants to connect with her students. She teaches in unique ways and works with her students to help them grow. These qualities allowed her to receive the WCCO Excellent Educator Award.
But I also really enjoy just interacting with high school kids and getting to know them more on a personal level and how they're living their lives and who they are as people.
Cameron's unique teaching style and her personality engage the people around her.
Miss Kemnit teaches in a different way because she has some people come in and directly teach us different ways to edit our photos. She comes one-on-one with us and she helps us do all of our editing and all of our yearbook pages. She helps us with tagging the people in the photos and writing our captions.
I made a mistake with my clay project and I saw this mouth and I saw a mouth and I asked her if I could just make it one even though that wasn't really part of the project, and she said yeah, go for it, and now I have this really cool thing.
Her personality, really, everyone is unique, I think, and she has, in my opinion, a very bubbly, upbeat character about her, and I think that she takes her job very seriously and her students' welfare very seriously.
Terrence has had a desire to teach since childhood.
My grandmother on my mom's side is a teacher, and so she did a lot of that. And but really, it was something that I grew up being passionate about and enjoying working with people.
The people around Chemnitz are proud of her accomplishments.
I'm actually like really proud of her. She's like one of my favorite teachers, and I think she really deserves it.
I think she definitely deserves it. She's influential and she supports us in our ideas, and I think that definitely helps with when we're creating and making the things that are in our brain.
I think anyone who cares as much as she does about what she's doing and does it with a really great attitude and is very positive and wants to always see the best in people and her students and for our school as a whole, I think that that is deserving of an award in and of itself.
This has been Paul and Katie, Noise News.
Well done, guys. Now, as many of you high schoolers know, in order to graduate from Spectrum High School, you must take 2 years of a foreign language.
And we have 2 excellent options for our student body to pick from, ASL and Spanish. Each have their own perks to taking the class, but what is so special about them, you may ask? Let's send it over to Carter and Emily to get the details on these classes.
Spectrum, students are required to take 2 years of a foreign language class. Spectrum offers 2 different language courses, Spanish and American Sign Language, or ASL for short. Spanish is a foreign language that is taught by Ms. Paulson. ASL is taught by Miss Ozzie.
I've been learning ASL since I was in elementary school, so it's been a passion of mine sort of throughout my life.
I realized that I wanted to inspire others to have that same empathy for people whose experiences might be different from their own, and so teaching another language and teaching about other cultures fits right in with that.
No one can argue that learning languages is easy. In fact, they can be some of the most difficult things to learn. However, the teachers here at Spectrum have great techniques they use in teaching these tricky languages.
Repetition really is the key to learning. We have a vocab list for a week, and I show them each sign, and we go through them together. And then there's usually practice exercises that we do to just keep repeating those signs in a way that's fun, to sort of help them learn.
The research is really showing that for a person to be able to speak and write well in another language, what they really need first is a lot of input in the language, meaning they need to hear as much as possible. They also need to read as much as possible. Especially in our beginning level classes, we spend a lot of time taking in language in a lot of different ways, like listening to music, telling stories, reading books, reading articles, and different ways like that, so that we can take in the language, and that way it becomes so automatic that later it makes it easier to speak.
Languages aren't just required at Spectrum because they're fun. Learning languages can be beneficial to the students.
It helps with just hand-eye coordination, for one thing, and for students who struggle with spelling, reading, writing, there's less of that in ASL, so it can be a good option for a language.
For studying Spanish also teaches you a lot of problem-solving skills, and it really teaches you to put yourself out of your comfort zone. Because anyone learning a language is going to make mistakes at some point, and you have to learn how to deal with that and be okay with putting yourself out there.
Even students agree that these language classes have given them skills that they can apply throughout the rest of their lives.
For ASL, you have to be really watching people and make eye contact and everything like that. So it really helps me kind of focus on what people are trying to say, so I don't kind of just zoom out of their conversations.
To be more understanding of other people's cultures and really get over the language barrier that we have.
Overall, it is evident that both Miss Paulson's and Miss Ozzie's passion for the languages that they teach are what makes Spanish and ASL enjoyable and beneficial for all students enrolled in their courses. This has been Emily and Carter with Noise News.
Ooh. Ooh. This is a good book.
Keegan, what you reading there?
I'm reading some anime, Caleb.
Anime? Why would you read anime when you could be reading the all-new Spectrum High School yearbook? Look it. There's all sorts of different pictures and descriptions, just like anime. It tells the story of our school. Really cool stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. It's way better than anime, I can tell.
Yearbooks, just like this one, are available for sale for $52 up until March 1st. But there's a limited quantity, so you better make sure that you get yours as soon as possible so that you're not stuck reading anime when you could be reading yearbooks. Do you want to be stuck reading anime, Sam?
No.
He wants a yearbook. So do you.
Get your yearbook today.
Continuing off of the topic of sports, Spectrum has had a few unfortunate events in the terms of physical health during sports seasons.
Starting in the fall with Max Lawrence's football injury and continuing to more recently with Morgan Novotny's ACL tear, we took the time to learn more about some sports injuries happening around Spectrum. Take it away, Tim and Braden.
Behind all the glory you see in the sports world, each and every athlete runs the risk of some form of grievous injury.
I broke my shoulder during football when I dislocated my rotator cuff. It made it really hard to play football, especially using my arms and stuff. Yeah, it just kind of slowed me down because mentally I didn't really know what I could do. I can't really do anything with my arm. I've been out of surgery for 7 weeks now, and I still have a couple months left to do therapy and have rehab, and it's kind of slowed me down.
I tore my ACL and my meniscus. Well, I was in a basketball scrimmage, and then this girl pushed me from behind, and then my knee twisted. I have to do physical therapy every day, and I have this thing that helps my knee get better faster.
Trainers are there to help with any form of injury, from a torn ACL to a bruised knee.
Well, there's actually a number of different areas you can be an athletic trainer. So there's the sports arena, which is the biggest one, high school sports, college sports, professional sports. There's also the industrial setting and work stuff, so people who are physically active for their job. So there's programs out there for that are specific to football teams or basketball teams or soccer teams where you have them go through a program as part of their warm-up. So for soccer players, it'll be a lot of ankle and knee strengthening stuff you have them do as their part of their warm-up, and it just helps strengthen those common injuries.
This has been Tim and Braden for Noise News, signing off.
Now let's take some time to learn a little bit more about one of the office ladies who people tend to overlook, Miss Danmeyer. Let's prance on over to Caleb, Parker, and Keegan for a hot take on this topic.
Everyone knows Miss Danmeyer is the bright and cheerful office lady at Spectrum who always opens the door for you when you come in late. Or is the kind lady who gives out candy after you turn in a permission slip, but very few students actually know what her job is.
I have no idea.
I'm not even going to try to I'm not going to try to make that up.
Ms. Danmeyer's job is assisting students at this school.
I think that Ms. Danmeyer sits on the computer and types stuff in the office.
Nice.
Make that up.
I've had 6 years and I have no clue. She talks on the phone and
like a secretary sort of thing.
I think she just goes on the computer and types stuff in the College Career Center.
Ms. Danmeyer welcomes everyone that enters Spectrum as a guest when they come in. She greets them with a smile, and she kind of just helps them get where they need to go after they arrive at Spectrum.
Is this a trick question?
Ms. Danmeyer, I think she opens the doors for people.
Yeah, that's all I got.
You know.
Where's Mrs. Is she the office lady?
I am the volunteer coordinator here at Spectrum, and which means that when a staff member needs someone to come and sell tickets, sell concessions, help out as a chaperone on a field trip event, that they give me a call and I put out the email to the families, and then the families either volunteer or don't volunteer, and I coordinate that.
While Mrs. Danmeyer's official job title is volunteer coordinator, we all know that she does a lot more than that.
Some days I'll be decorating Christmas trees, and some days I will be cleaning out the staff lounge or the fridge or cleaning the flower pots in the front. No 2 days are the same. I really like that. I am a person that needs a lot of variety, so I like that.
Miss Dameyer has done a lot for Spectrum in the past 7 years and likes a lot about the school.
I like the fact that it is small. It has a sort of a family atmosphere to it, and that is cozy to work in. Yet it's big enough and progressive enough that we're graduating some really fine students that are ready for college, and all of that is marvelous to be a part of. I like what I'm doing, and I like who I work with.
While Mrs. Dameyer's job is great, there are some downsides to it.
And the downside of my job is one thing I am disappointed with every year is when the kids that you've watched grow up from 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, you watch them grow up and be a part of their lives, and then they have the nerve to graduate and leave you. It's heartbreaking every year, over and over. But it's great.
Even though her job has downsides, Miss Dameyer loves doing it and wouldn't change it for the world. This has been Keegan, Parker, and Caleb, signing off.
Wow, what a great way to end this show.
I agree, Kenzie. Well, this has been Marcus Grund
and Kenzie Alders, keeping you
in on the noise.